Well, g'day there. My name's Neil Penny and I started this channel to provide soft food options using food that will either prevent or fight cancer. And today I'm making mushroom sauce 2 ways. Yes, 2 to the price of 1, lucky you. It's a nice champignon sauce which we can put on a chicken Kiev, or a mushroom sauce which you can put on a steak or some lamb chops or something like that. So without mucking around, let's get into it. We've got a 250mg tin of champignon, 30 grams of butter, small onion, a chunk of garlic, about a tablespoon of thyme, half a cup of wine, 300ml of cream. Easy. First thing we'll do is we're just going to dice the onion. Next up, we're going to slice our champignon fairly thin, and when you take them out of the tin, keep the juice. You may use some later on. Just chop. Just slip rid of the buggers. And bang them in the container. And then what we'll do is we'll go on to the garlic. With the garlic, we're going to chop it fairly fine. So the first thing you want to do is just slice it down. Then chop, chop, chop. Just add a sprinkle of salt, and that way the stickiness of the garlic will interact with the salt, and it will stay together and makes it easier to chop. Once your garlic gets down to this sort of consistency, just use the edge of your knife to squash it out, to mince it. As you can see, it's not a paste, the grains are fairly small, and that's pretty much what we want. Next up, we've got some thyme. And just to get the leaves off the thyme, just run your fingers down the stem. That's the easiest way, the quickest way to get it off. Okay, that should be about enough. And if you were here, you could smell this. It's beautiful. So we're just going to chop this up, get it chop, chop, chop. Just a rough chop, don't have to be too flash about it. And she's done. Oh, it smells beautiful. So this is the fun bit. I'll put the butter, the garlic, the thyme and the onions into the fry pan. I've turned on the L747. I'm just going to fry that away for about 5 minutes until it cooks down nice. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the champignons. We'll give them a fry for about 5 minutes or so, get nice and warmed up, and then we'll hit it with the wine and the cream. And remember I said to keep the juices from the tin? We'll put a little bit of that in there so you get some extra flavour. So now we're going to add the wine and the cream. Wine, then the cream. As you can see, she's bubbling away quite nicely. Just keep giving it a stir, let it reduce down. It'll take a while. As you can see, she's thickened up nicely. She's almost there. Can we just add a little bit of pepper? I use white pepper, but you can use black pepper. It's really up to you, it's personal preference. And some sea salt. Just a sprinkle, pinch or so. We'll adjust the seasoning when it's finished. So as you can see, she's reduced quite nicely. It's about as thick as you want it. To test it, just stick the spoon in on the back. Beautiful. So then what you want to do is just bang it into a bowl. And the important thing to remember is, if you're not going to use it today, and use it tomorrow, or you use it today but you've still got some left over, you'll have to reheat it. And what's going to happen is if it sits in the fridge overnight, it's going to set. So you probably have to add a little bit more wine to it when you're heating it up again. Okay, and now we'll go on to sauce number 2. Well, the ingredients for this one is about 250 grams of mushies, 2 tablespoons of butter, about 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, I've got 100 ml of red wine and 400 ml of beef stock, and then I'll add salt and pepper later. And that's it! Look at the size of these bloody things. All this black stuff in here, that's your flavour. Now I don't take the skin off, I just give them a wash because there's flavour in it as well. And the prep is so easy, all we do is just chop the damn things down. So just cut into some thick slices and we'll chop them down a bit as well. If you had smaller ones, then you could leave them whole. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're just going to get the butter, bang it into the can, it's on 747, reduce the butter down till it starts to foam, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add the mushrooms. So once the butter's foamed up, just bang in the mushies. Pretty easy. Add a pinch of salt. So we'll sweat these down for a little bit. The mushrooms should lose about a third to half of their volume, but also they're going to release juices as well. Some water will come out of them. So we'll just let them merrily fry away for a little bit. So as you can see, the mushrooms are sweated down quite a bit. But you can also see how black they're going. That's all the black from underneath the mushroom, and that's all flavour. This is going to be beautiful. So once they're sweated down, what we'll do is we'll just start adding the flour. Just a little bit sprinkled on top and mix it through. Don't put it all in at once, okay? Because you'll get lumps. Little doughboys they call them, those little white lumps. We don't want doughboys in our sauce, do we? This will take up in the residual liquid in there. You can see all that beautiful colour on the bottom. Lovely. As you can see, the flour is starting to cook through, so I'm going to add the red wine first. And that's just to take up all the flour and just distribute it evenly through. That's going to get taken up fairly quickly. You can smell this, oh boy, you'll be going crazy. Look at that colour. Then, what we're going to do is slowly introduce the beef stock. Again, we want to just stir it through, take up all that juices and the flour. We don't want any lumps. This is important. We don't want lumpy. Because I suppose the chunks of mushrooms in there, lumpy gravy wouldn't be much of an issue, would it? So as you can see, she's thickening up nicely. But what will happen now is we want this thing to reduce right down until it gets nice and thick. And then we'll taste it and see if we need to add some salt and pepper. We'll use black pepper this time, and then she'll be done. So as she's cooking away, one of the things you want to do is make sure that the flour is cooked. So stick your finger in, it's not too hot, into your mouth. Now you'll notice that the flour, you get a floury taste on the top of your mouth, on the palate. That means the flour's not cooked. And once that floury flavour is not there anymore, then you know it's cooked. But we're going to reduce this thing right down so it's nice and thick, beautiful and thick. So she's coming along nicely. It's at this point I'll add the thyme. And I haven't chopped it up, I've just kept it whole. And it's nice el rustico. So as you can see, she's thickening quite nicely, but she's not there yet. So I'll add a little bit more salt, so taste it and there's some salt. And black pepper. So that looks like she's thick enough now. Hang in the spoon, give it a test. Beautiful. Okay, so now she's cooked. What we're going to do is just put it in the dish. Now with this one, it's exactly the same as the other one, in that it's going to thicken up in the fridge if you leave it overnight. So again, some red wine just to thicken it up a bit. And both of these are for 4 people. So, you know, unless you're big eaters, and it's for 2 people. So there we go, two mushroom sauces. Now with the second one, if you don't want to use flour, then what you can do is, once the mushrooms are sweated down, put in the red wine and put in the beef stock, and then put in about 300 millilitres of cream and just reduce that down, and you get a nice creamy sauce. I mean, that's up to you. As I said, both of these, serve about 4 people unless you eat a lot. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. It was a lot of fun. I've got mushroom sauce coming out of my ears now. And like I always say, I'm living proof that there is life after oral cancer surgery. Good day.